quick disclaimer, okay? If you don't like what I say, you can hit the X button. If you're going to be offended and be a little baby and go and cry and go, sip on your little milky, leave. Hit the X button. Goodbye. Bye. If you're here to watch us, let's get booming. Here we go. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. Let's go. All right, and what's going on? I'm Phil. This is my guest, Frankie. Frankie, first and foremost, we're so happy to have you on this pod. Like, we are really, I said to everybody, I got a big guest coming on for season 2. We've got all these names, and then we got you here. We're really happy to have you. So, I have your bio on my phone, but it's so impressive that, can you just kind of explain to us a little bit more? So, how we both know each other, we both went to Bosco.
That's right.
In the glory days. I mean, the guys he had in his class were first and foremost, they're freaks of nature.
Yeah.
You had DeVito,
That's right.
I mean, it was
real athletic guys.
Yeah, and then you had this little shrimpy kid as the football manager. That was me.
Yeah.
I've never been so scared in my life of people. I actually would get picked up in the hallways by Tyler Friday and Marcellus Arlington.
Yeah. Well, listen, you're famous at Bosco. People love you. I mean, you have left an impact on that school.
Listen, man.
I promise you that.
We do what we do. You know what I mean? I mean, this podcast, we started because during Bosco, I had this private story called Philosophy. I said something about the principal, he touched the elf on the shelf, right? Nobody thought anything of it. I miss a math test one day because I'm stuck in traffic, so he suspends me in school.
Oh, you heard.
Right? No, he never heard.
He never heard it.
The best part is he's yelling at me, right? And the whole school's chanting "Free Phil, Free Phil."
Yeah.
So that's kind of you know what? The private story kind of just took off.
Yeah.
Then we made the bracelets. And then I can't go around my town in my Starbucks without people screaming, "Oh my God, I love you!" Some kid the other day was taking photos of me in Starbucks. "Oh my God, it's do you understand? I mean, I'm sure you have people taking photos of you when you're out in public,
occasionally, just from the show, though. It's just because the show's popular. That's why.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll tell you, that's Bosco's an amazing place, and the principal's awesome too. I love him. I gotta be honest, I love him.
Well, he's gone now. So I had this new guy called Manny. We didn't like him.
No.
Then after that, things got bad. Now we had a new one, great guy. But enough about Bosco. Let's get going.
Let's go.
Some more stuff. So, as a child, you played football, lacrosse,
That's right.
baseball, big acting career. We talked before, modeling. And now you went to Sacred Heart with a minor in data analytics. And then throughout college, you earned your 7 Series license while interning at multiple hedge funds, including Skybridge Capital. And now you are an assistant manager with a real estate private equity firm out in California called Revolve Capital.
Correct. Yeah. Right now I work for a company called Revolve Capital out of California. I'm an asset manager for them. Amazing company. What we do is we buy delinquent debt from the big banks. So, we'll take down tranches of, let's say, $15, $30, $50 million. And what we do from there, we liquidate the assets either by sale to other investors or we'll foreclose if the asset's vacant and so forth, create modification. So I like it. It's a little different than what I bargained for coming out of college.
Right.
But life takes you where it takes you, and I couldn't be happier. An amazing place.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. So, actually, before this, so we were talking, Tanner yelled at us because we were talking. He goes, you guys gotta shut up. You go, dude, it's just like what happens on Real Housewives of New York.
Yeah.
With all the Bravo stuff, just to start on, even thinking about the name thing, we could talk about, how much hair product we have on our hair.
Yeah, exactly.
Before this, Frank's checking his hair in the mirror. I got my hair cut last week. Actually, fun fact, I go to Louis DeSico to get my hair cut.
Do you?
Yes.
He's the man.
He's the best.
Right?
He's the best. He saved this. I mean, my one buddy Jake goes Phil, it's a crime what's going on in your head right now. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but these guys, they saved my life.
Looks good to me. You did a good job.
Okay, man. I mean, we try. So right off the bat, give me a little update on what's going on besides, with work and...
Yeah, of course. No, besides work right now, I'm studying pretty hard for my GMAT. I'm going to retake my GMAT. As people saw on the show, I had taken it one time. I had done pretty well, but I'm going to take it again and try to score fantastically as well as I can to try to get into a top school and transition over, either stay where I'm at actually at Revolve, because I enjoyed there, or decide to go off investment banking, whatever it may be. So I have a decision to make there. Granted, I stay there. It's a great firm, but I have that there. And then on top of that, right now, we just finished the most recent season of Housewives, which was great. Great season, some pretty entertaining stuff, a lot of changes in my mother's life and all of our lives. So I thought it was interesting this season, especially seeing us grow up when we were younger. My sister's finally become a veterinarian. My mom has just recently gone through a rough breakup. My dad's moving back into the house. and it's just a lot of camaraderie. It's going to be a good season.
That's good. I've never seen a season before,
Yeah.
so I'll tell you that. But I know people that have watched it. I remember when I was at Boston, they're like, "Oh, you gotta go look for this kid." I never forget my freshman year. We're sitting upstairs in the library, and all these kids are like, "Oh my God, it's him, it's him!" I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna look at a picture."
Yeah.
I gotta find the picture. I'm sure Tanner will throw it up on the screen at some point throughout the show. I look like a little second grader.
You still have the charisma you have now.
I do
Look like a kid, but you have the charisma of a man, right?
Yeah. So, big thing I want to talk to you about, because I said we need to have any guests. We need to talk about everything, life, crazy,
Of course.
parties, stocks. So I got this one buddy of mine, right? He was joking around. I told him, "Dude, this is fully illegal." He was like, "Yeah, I started like this stock trading thing in school." He goes, "Kids give me money. I buy stocks, and I give them money. They give me money." He goes like, "How does that sound?" Like, dude, it sounds fully illegal.
Yeah.
So can you? Because a lot of our viewers, they're young people that want to get into the stock market, cryptos. Can you give them some advice on that type of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely, and I'd be happy to. The truth is, and I'm going to tell you the truth is, most of the people that say they day trade, and that they say they trade, let's say it's day trading stocks or whatever it may be, have a false notion that they're successful, when really it just so happens to be successful, period, and they've yet to see the downturn. I started day trading when I was in 7th grade, and I had day traded for 10 years until I started trading profitably, which is when I got into options. But really, my advice to anyone right now would be relax with the trading and studying these bull pendants and these different patterns, because when the big guys trade, right, no matter where your trend may be or whatever setup you see as a bullish or bearish trend, really all that matters is when the big guys trade, when they decide to make their trade, right? So what I would suggest anybody that wants to get into the market and start investing profitably would step away from the screen, right? I love that people are hands-on and learning, but learn what you have to learn. And you could day trade just to get a feel for the market. It's a little bit of a costly lesson. You may make some money here and there, right? And have a good time. And feel free to prove me wrong. Anyone that proves me wrong saying that, I could be totally wrong. This is my own opinion. But I would suggest whoever wants to get into stocks, take a moment to sit back, learn about, rather than technical analysis, learn about fundamental analysis. And learn about actually what creates the valuation of a company. Each stock price you see, right? If the stock's valued $100, there's an assumption attached to that stock price. And as an investor, you should be able to dig into the stock price, look at the numbers, and say, okay, at this valuation, I should be anticipating that these will be the financials to come up. And let's say the projected financials for the company, there's a discrepancy between what the company is projected to do within the coming quarters and what they're valued at, right? There may be some type of, as people would say, I wouldn't call it arbitrage, but there's an opportunity, right? You're seeing a stock is valued at a different price from what it's projected to do by the analysts. So that's my advice. Get into that. Learn about valuation. Learn about ratios are very important. Make sure you have consistent numerators and denominators. And that would be my advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope everybody took notes right there. You can always rewind and hit the like and hit the subscribe and then keep watching the pod. That's an order to do that. You should do that. I would do that.
I have a book too, real quick.
You have a book?
Yeah, that I would like to, not that I wrote, but that I think everyone should read.
Okay.
It's a little bit complex, but...
The Bible?
No, the Bible too, but it's basically, I think it's called Equity Valuation. It's a little book of equity valuation by Oswath Dummerdum. He's a professor at NYU. So I would suggest anyone who wants to get into starting to learn about fundamental analysis, that's what you go look up.
Okay. I love it. So go buy that book, and then you can also hit the link below and buy the merch. We're rocking it right now. So back to stocks and making money. You also said we gotta talk about some sports. You're a Patriot fan.
I am a Patriots fan.
I'm sure you're probably heartbroken that Brady's not there.
Of course.
I'm sure you're upset about the game when he returned to Foxborough. I myself was not when that ball hit off the post. I might have jumped high.
I was thinking about you.
Yes, I had a 17 parlay. It was very crazy. I'm not a real big sports bettor, right? And it's kind of like I say, it's like with stocks. You gotta be smart about it. One time I bet that Joe Burrow was not going to win the national championship for college. I had a really bad night that night.
Of course. Hey, stock trading the wrong way and sports betting, they're not so different.
Yeah. Are you a big sports bettor or not really?
Not really. I am occasional. I have a really good time doing it, but I'm not that into it. If you take a look at some of the financials of companies revolved around sports betting, go take a look at that. They don't lie. there's a reason they make that amount of money. And you're not special, you're not different, you're gonna end up the same way the rest of those people are.
Yeah, it's hysterical. I'll tell you, like, I had buddies and they're like, hey, like, could you Venmo me like 200? Like, I will pay you back.
It's bad, man.
Dude,
I'm telling you, these kids are bad with these.
I go, no
what
way,
they're doing,
dude.
right?
Absolutely
Oh
not.
my gosh.
It's crazy.
It's going to change the landscape of our society, just so you know. That this betting being legalized now is going to change the landscape of our society. It is going to be so built into what we are as a society. Just watch, it's going to be the future.
Yeah.
And any man, I think, will have an advantage who's not addicted to it.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm addicted to it. I do it like a couple times out of the year. Again, I have a huge competition problem.
Well, how much money do you pay to go on a roller coaster?
I'll never go on a roller coaster.
Okay, how much money do you pay to go see a movie?
You know what, dude? Big Netflix guy.
Okay, how much money do you pay for Netflix?
I don't really know.
A year.
How much a year?
I'm not sure, but
I don't know either.
if you think about it, you pay for entertainment, right?
Right.
If you lose a sports bet, just think of it as an expensive fund.
Yeah.
It made the game a lot more exciting.
Exactly. It did. That's what it's all about. So let's talk a little bit about the show.
Yeah.
A really big question that I had for you, because in today's like nature, I'm going through right now. I'm not gonna talk about it for certain reasons, because nothing's all kind of. Hopefully, by the time this episode comes out, we would have won what we were fighting. So the cancel culture. If you say one thing, whether you're right or you're wrong, it might not even be that bad what you said. How people could just blow it up.
Yeah.
How hard is it for you guys on the show to watch what you say when those cameras are rolling, knowing that whatever you say could get put out there or leaked out there, and quite frankly, like, get canceled?
Yeah, it's a good question, and I'm not gonna lie, it's something that it's something that always does worry me in a sense, right? Just because I have the best of intentions. I know the way I think of our society as a whole, that I have nothing where I can be like, I gotta watch what I say because I feel that certain way, and I know it would be. I'm fine when it comes that way, but it could be the slightest thing that could get you in trouble.
Yeah.
You just gotta watch what you say. You have to be careful, but at the end of the day, I really never have any desire to say anything out of line that anyone would have a problem with. So I'm lucky. My family's lucky because we're extremely accepting of everyone. I think watch our language privately as well. Watch what we say. But it's always in the back of your mind. Also, you'll see on social media, I don't really get too crazy politically. Things I think are objective, like supporting our troops.
Yeah.
I would do that, right? I will post for our troop. That's objective. You can't beat that. But I don't really get political. And then also for my on the show, the producers don't want that. They don't want anything like that. They also watch if someone were to say something that was maybe out of line that they think would be not accepted by the viewers. That was an accident, may just seem wrong, even though there were no bad intentions behind it. They'll watch as well. You don't want that on your hands. That's different than drama, right?
Yeah.
Bravo would never want that.
Right.
Yeah, they're an amazing network. They're there for drama amongst the girls. They don't want to create any political issues.
Right. No, I hear you. And you know what it is? Like, I have a disclaimer, which you'll see when we air it. I have a disclaimer that goes on that tells people, like, if you get offended by what I say, like, that's not your fault. I speak the truth about a lot of stuff. I have a segment, which, we're going to cut to right now, called No More Bullshit.
Okay.
Where literally I call out things the way that they are. And some people don't like what I say. And at the end of the day, that's their problem. And speaking of, the woke culture and all this cancel culture, let's cut to No More Bullshit. And welcome back to No More Bullshit. So we're talking about the wake culture, right? And like woke and all this stuff and everything woke goes to shit, okay? But everybody's like, Phil, you've talked about this and cancel culture and all this stuff, so why are you talking about it? Well, I got canceled. Kind of, not really. So anyway, right, we're having fun on the Instagram Live pre-shows and didn't do anything wrong. I defended myself, okay? People nowadays are so afraid to be themselves because they're going to get canceled. That's what I did here. I defended myself, okay? We got people saying stuff in the comments, okay? And then one person could lie, and then you've got people who just are weak, okay? They're not winners, who will go around, complain, and then all of a sudden I get a phone call, and they go, Phil, you're done coaching. That's it. You're done. You're gone. Wow. For what? They go, well, you said something on your Instagram. I go, what are you talking about? They go, well, didn't you say something? I go, no. No. They go, well, we got a complaint, so you're gone. But where's the evidence with this stuff? Right? Where is the evidence? Okay? people think that they have evidence because of a complaint. I could complain saying that when I went to, with that store when you make a teddy bear, well, I went to the teddy bear place and the lady told me, fuck you, right? I could say that, but it never happened. You could do all these things. I could go to Dairy Queen and I could go get a Blizzard, and I could hold it out open and just leave it there for about 5 minutes until the thing falls, and I could be like, they did this, okay? But going back to, people are afraid to be themselves because they can't. They made an accusation that I said that somebody was fat. I would never do that. Listen, me and my buddy Will Priest, we talk about this all the time, right? When you say a joke about somebody, you say something, right? You only speak the truth, you don't lie. So that's bullshit. And that's why it's no more bullshit. And everybody's like, when are you coming back? Here's the thing. I never left. So yeah, we just talked about stocks and then real estate. One of my dreams is, I think, a lot of people who know me, I've got an obsession with Starbucks, right? Like, so this is my daily Starbucks thing, right? Okay. I go there, walk in, get my Starbucks in the morning. If it's good, I'm back there about 12:30, get another one. Then I go for a 3:30 coffee just to make sure, like, you know what, keep the day going. Now, it depends if I got something like tonight, right? That 3:30 Starbucks becomes now 3:30, then I'm back 10 minutes later for another coffee.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's intense.
It's almost the
So
act. It's the act of getting the coffee as well.
Oh,
The
dude, I love
driving and
it.
walking into the Starbucks,
dude, I
being
love
friendly greeted.
Dude.
You know, it's an event.
Dude, do you want to talk about being friendly greeted in a Starbucks? So my dream, I want to have a building, I want to put a Starbucks in it, right? So, like I told you, right? I coach, and all the people that I've coached, I've had such an impact on all their lives, and they all wear the bracelets, right?
Yeah.
Kids are like, I need a bracelet, and one kid comes up to me and goes, yo, Phil, I go, what's up, dude? He goes, like, any other bracelet? I go, okay, why? He goes, some kid wanted it, so I sold it to him for $15 in school. I'm like, dude, what?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, it's awesome. So it's like life-changing stuff. These kids are like, they're going crazy over it. But yeah, so I go to Starbucks, dude. One day I got somebody like literally like sniping photos of me. Like, I see that. I'm not gonna confront them because what if you're wrong? So like, when I go to Starbucks, dude, I get scared going in there.
Also, what does it matter?
Yeah,
it happens. That happens all the time. There were people drive by my house too, right?
Dude, that's scary.
Yeah,
that's really scary.
They'll drive by my house and see him sitting. Like the other day, my girlfriend was with me, and like people just drive up to the house and see him taking pictures. Like, this is ridiculous. And she's 100% right. She's like, she deals with it amazingly. She's like a spectacular girl, really. She's amazing. And it's one thing. It's like it's flattering, right? I don't expect it to be here forever. I don't expect.
Yeah.
The show is temporary. I don't think I'm gonna be on forever and be in the limelight forever. Right?
Yeah, enjoy
Depending
it.
on what I do in business.
Enjoy it, because there's some people that just die for it. That can't get
I
it.
think you're done. That's a problem. If you die for it, if you
Yeah.
need to live for that, no, it's not the way to go.
Yeah. And like, people always say to me, they're like, what's it about making a podcast, and how do you get people to get out there and know you? And really, you can't force these things. I think that everything happens for a reason, and things just happen in your life that make these things possible.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I tell everybody. I go, like, listen, I started the podcast for reasons. I didn't want to ever do a podcast. I never thought about it. I was told by a lot of people to do it, and I never really wanted to. And somebody really was like, dude, like, go out and do it. Like, you could do it. Like, and I'm like, you know what? I'll do it. I mean, my boys Grant and Sam out in California, like, they die for this stuff. They're like, oh, dude, we can't wait for the podcast. And it's stuff like that always makes you want to keep going back. And you know what I say? Listen, if we're gonna do it, you gotta do it like there's a camera crew following you around every day. As
Yeah.
Perfect guest to say that to. I have a camera crew following wherever he goes. But yeah, dude, like, that's why I love going to Starbucks. I mean, it's just an event every time.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh yeah. And some days, I'll go full white girl and get like a cookie crumble frappuccino, and then go to Pliable after.
Oh, beautiful. You have a good day.
I mean, who knows? Sometimes, but it just kills like and all that stuff. So okay, so we both went to probably one of the greatest high schools in America.
I'd have to agree.
Okay. I've got some crazy stories. Not stuff that happened in school, but outside of school.
Yeah.
What are some like your most crazy stories? Because when you went to Bosco, you went and like the peak, like everybody like was great, like you, like it was different.
Yes, I would say. Listen, I would say I slightly missed the peak. Right. I heard some stories.
Yeah, so did I. I never got those.
I would say I slightly missed the peak.
Yeah.
But I had a great time. right? I don't even know if that would have been great for me. I mean, it was a madhouse, and they've completely 180 now to. It was always an amazing school,
Yeah.
but they completely 180 to being specifically very academic. I went the other day, man, these kids, I walk up to them, hey, Mr. Catania, how are you? Look me in the eye, shake my hand.
Yeah.
Because I went to go talk to a class about evaluation. I mean, they're amazing. These kids are clean cut, disciplined. What that school is doing is spectacular.
Yeah.
I respect what they've done, the decisions they
Yeah.
made. I think it's amazing. Bosco's on the up and up. Matter of fact, I do not think any of their competition, when it comes to as a school,
Yeah. There's no competition.
you
to any
cannot
other
compete.
schools.
Maybe in the past, before the you cannot compete.
Oh no, you can't compete.
It's done.
You can't compete with the school. Now the sports right now, obviously,
It's in the back burner, but
I mean, yeah,
they've sacrificed that. I think it's part of the
Yeah.
sacrifice.
hockey's number one. I think hockey. You go to Bosco to play hockey, and I think right now, I mean, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for saying this, but like I told you, I say the truth in the way that it is. I mean, right now you look at what Bergen's doing; it's crazy. Like, it's not so much about how they recruit, but it's in the environment that you see they post these videos, all these motivational things, and for a kid in 7th and 8th grade, they want to go and they want to win right away. They don't want to go through that process that all the other schools are trying to go through right now. Do you kind of feel?
I agree.
See what I mean?
Yeah, I see where you're going.
I feel like back when my freshman year, your senior year, if you're a 7th or 8th grader, you could have picked between Bosco, Joe's, or Bergen to go play football and have a winning year. I think that now it's more of kids are like, yeah, well, I'm the shit coming out of my Pee Wee football, and now I want to go and I want to win right away.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to wait, and I agree with that because you're only a lot of kids. You're only playing varsity for 3 to 2 years. The window's not that big to go out and win because you know what everybody else has. So you want to go where you could just win and get that ring.
It's true, and I think you see that with every type of school. You see that in college with Alabama.
Yeah.
If people go, well, in college you pick more strategically, right, where you're going to get
Yeah.
the most playing time to have a shot at the league, I feel like.
And again, that's no diss to Bosco. I love Bosco. I'm just saying the truth that
No,
kids want.
you're
Yeah,
right.
you know
It's so
what I
fine.
mean? Yeah,
100%.
just like
Boston
Alabama.
wins. Right now, Boston wins in every other area. I'll say
Yeah.
that honestly. You
Yeah.
can't compete. It just so happens you're struggling right now when it comes to
Sports.
football. That's fine. That's
Exactly.
fine.
But yeah, Alabama. Same thing.
No, that's a great example. But you make those sacrifices because you choose different ways. For example, I've made a sacrifice in my life. I used to lift. Well, I still lift constantly every day, but I was non-stop dieting, lifting as hard as I could every day was my life. And I took a choice to switch over. Now it's time to switch over to my career to more academics, planning for graduate school. Make sure I could devote my whole entire day to my current job, right, in the firm that I work for. So that's you make trade-offs.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So Ben, what are some of these crazy stories that you probably have about parties or just kind of stuff like that?
I never party much, but I have some crazy stories about some other things. I'm trying to think. There's so many of them. I'm trying to think. What are some crazy stories I have? It's like you think of so many. Let's see.
Well, you think I'll give you a story of what we did.
Yeah, let me hear what you guys did.
So, senior year, everybody was like, you should throw a New Year's Eve party. I'm thinking, all right, maybe. Okay. We named it Project Phil. Okay. We had geotags of the place, with me on it.
Yeah.
I came out. We have like a balcony in the house. I came out over the balcony. They shot off confetti cannons. It was insane. There was confetti flying from the place. There's still confetti all over the place.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was pretty funny.
It's a good time though. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's a good time. I got a story. One time I was on. This is not like a crazy party story or anything. So I had a jet. My father has jet skis at our shore house. So I go to the shore house and riding the jet skis, and my dad always tells me, Frank, when you're on the jet ski, and I love going to the ocean and riding them, make sure you clip on to your jacket. You clip the key onto your jacket. So I had some pals over the house. They were having a party, and there were people hopping on and off the jet ski with me. I would take them out, whip them around, have a good time and everything. It just so happens one time I hop off the jet ski, I don't clip it back on, right? So as that happens, I'm thinking to myself, all right, driving around. Next thing you know, the jet ski just so happens I'm on with 2 people in the back. Thing flips, and I fall off. I'm thinking, all right. And as I'm falling, I'm thinking, did I clip that key to my vest? and I look down, the key's not there, it's still in the jet ski. And I don't know if you know how it works. You fall off the jet ski, it keeps going, right? It doesn't stop. So I'm like, this is it, I'm done. And it's just going. There's land here, and there's land everywhere except the one direction that happens to be going in. There's no land. And this thing's about to go for miles.
Oh, man.
And I have a flashback to a time my father told me, he's like, in the jet skis after 2019, they put these little chips in them that if it doesn't feel any steer, that'll automatically adjust and start going in circles. So I'm like, damn, I hope this model's after 2019 in the water, just steer. I hope this model's after 2019. And it just keeps going. I think I'm done. The thing just clicks, turns into a big circle, and goes back to me. That's a good story I was telling, but it's, you know, it's a good story. But it came right back to me. I hopped on, clicked in, and it worked out. But you know, for a second, I thought I was about to lose a jet ski. Yeah.
That's
It's an alright story.
that's hysterical. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was it.
That's great.
I got some more. I honestly, I don't know if they're good for the camera, man.
You can say it if you want.
I can't say them. I can't say them.
Yeah, they'll come right at you.
I can't say them. There's stories that aren't good to be publicized.
Oh,
I'll tell them to you in private.
Definitely.
Alright?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's great actually.
Yeah.
He just goes flying.
Yeah, so that was it. No, that was a good time. I love usually we spend our summers in Seaside, Tom's River. A good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. My buddy one time we went golfing. First shot of the year. I mean, he hits it. I look. I mean, the thing's just going left, and then I was going backwards left. This is fucked up where this thing's going. All of a sudden, all right, it's fine. It's probably like the pool area. Let's keep driving. I get a call later. There was a kid there breaking our chops because he called our buddy's ex-girlfriend hot without realizing it. Right?
Yeah.
Like one buddy is like going off about this kid as we walk back.
He didn't realize it. So like basically just saying this girl is hot, and it just so happens that girl
Is the ex?
is his ex.
The kid who was talking about the ex-girlfriend's car got hit by the golf ball my buddy hit.
There you go.
Shattered the window. It was great.
Indirect, right? Indirect. Just so happens.
It's hysterical.
Karma chose him to deliver the message.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, that's great.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But yeah, I think we're coming up on time right now. I mean, you have any questions for us?
Yeah, of course. I mean, real quick, I'd like to know where you're looking to take this. What type of message are you trying to send with this podcast?
You know what? I get that question all the time, and this podcast is meant for a couple of reasons. The hat right there says FIOFO, fit in or fuck off. And you know, you got the boom. I always say boom because I feel like if something good ever happens in your life, I always say boom. And the more that you say boom and something good happens, you're winning in life. That's what boom really is. The philosophy from how it inspired a lot of people. This podcast is a spot where people can come to escape from all that stupid drama about you can't do this or you can't say that. This is that type of outlet where people would come on for 30, 40 minutes, watch and enjoy it. And when I talk about politics in other episodes, the views that I have, a lot of people don't agree with. And it really all just comes down about things that I feel need to be done. And it's really calling out, the losers of, people who want to, go out there and bully people to death and,
Of course.
just ruin their lives. So, I'm getting the cue to go off right now, but this podcast, it's philosophy.
Very nice. Well,
Thank
thanks for having me, Phil.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
For Frankie, I'm Phil. Tanner, great job as always. This is the Philosophy Podcast.